Echo Lima 87. This is 100 watts and a wire.
No.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Just bring it all back. Oh, we did it. I don't know what we did, y'all, but we were sucking it. And welcome to 100 watts and a wire. We're having some extreme, I hate the words, technical difficulties. And yeah, those two words put together, I do not like them. None of the people that you are looking at the moment care for those. I don't know what was happening. We had some kind of weird gremlin in there.
I don't think we're live.
Oh, for God's sakes. James, are we live?
I'm trying to check it.
We are live. Refresh.
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 Don't get off. Don't get off axis. Oh no, you gotta suck it. You gotta be right here.
You gotta be right here. Worst podcast episode. Right. Well, it's hard to say. I don't know. Are we live or are we not? I see Scotty in my live stream over here like, I don't know.
I'm trying to go. I'm on YouTube. I'm refreshing. It just keeps coming up with a 2-minute, 6-second video where it ends with us bailing.
Greg says he can see us.
Okay. I bailed out. I aborted the last one and redid it.
I gotta find a different
gosh.
link. Me refreshing what I
Did
had.
you lose it?
Then let me here. I gotta send Scotty a link to the live. I just want to let you know, Scotty, you're actually in it. You're all right.
But I gotta monitor the chat, so I can't monitor the chat if I can't be part of the live stream.
Try that link down there. Oh Lord have mercy! But at least we hit the post. Oh my! See, let me just give you a little bit of context because when we were connecting, everybody was like, and lips were not matching up. And all the things.
Good.
It was
Scotty,
like an old
happy?
Godzilla.
Scotty's like, I can't see it.
I'm happy. Yes, I'm part. I feel like I'm actually part of the show now. This is great.
Oh, we did it! Thank
Don't
goodness.
you feel special now, Scotty?
Good grief! I hope everything's coming out okay. That was a little hardly broke a sweat though. I was like, okay, we have 10 minutes. See you later. Call me back. That was wacky. You would think we were on a network trying to pull it off. I don't know if I did anything differently, but I tried to not get off axis. That was the most.
Don't get off. Don't get off axis. Oh no, you gotta suck it. You gotta be right here.
You gotta be right. Don't put my head in the right place. Oh well. Episode number 424. Not going to the Broadcasting Hall of Fame in Washington, D.C. Either or most of these podcasts. Friends, it's Christian. My call sign's K0STH. Steve W7UDI is here, and Scotty KC3BXN. I love the sense of Scotty's sort of like, I don't see it. I probably went too soon for Scotty. He is the chief engineer of 100 Watts and a Wire, and I kind of jumped the shark. And I don't see it. It says this. Oh. Stupid. Yeah, damn it.
I don't think it's happening.
What's happening? Well, It's good to see. We actually got it off on time, so that was good. The gremlins worked itself out. I just, one of those things. Sometimes when you restart the machines, it had like some artifacts popping in there. And then when I hit the Ring of Fire, the countdown, it sounded like we were cooking bacon. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And then Scotty was like, I think something's wrong with the bit.
We're on that 33 RPM record. Oh, going around and around.
Lots of dust and mechanical noise.
Yeah, it was rough. Well, hello to James and Greg. We see you there. We appreciate you stopping by. Let's hear this name. You say this one, Steve. What's this name here? Aloysius? Aloysius. Is that like Aloysius?
We'll just call you Al.
I'll just call you Al. That's what Paul Simon tells us what to do. Todd is here, and Big Ben is here as well. We are just touching base and getting together, recording a new episode. And we were going to talk about, I think we're still going to talk about, we have plenty of time now that we're all, in the spaceship we're flying. I did say, we can't go up like this. We can't go up like this. Like going into space like this is not good. Whew. Bring it back down. Before we start, though, we need to tell our listening audience we are recording live from the Browns Hotel, and that could explain a lot of the technical issues here. I'm going to call the front desk so Scotty can write down the Wi-Fi password. Scotty is indeed our chief engineer. Let's get the Wi-Fi password, sir. Did you get that, Scotty? I think if you entered it right the first time,
That's going to be tough with a brute force attack getting that one.
There was a little thing at the end there. Maybe that's what we missed. There was a letter in there I didn't think we got. One more time. I am at the end.
I am right there. Yeah, I am.
That's what it was. We just didn't put the Wi-Fi in.
Get you every time.
Every time. So last week, Steve, I know that you probably didn't listen to the show. He doesn't listen unless he's on it. He doesn't listen. But last week, Scotty found out. I'm gonna have him tell the story that he actually got a message from some radio club telling him his license was about to expire. So, what for our audience who may be catching up in real time, Scotty? What happened last week?
I wasn't paying attention, as we discovered. Others not paying attention to when their license expires. I got a random email from I'm trying to pull it up from a East Texas radio club, just as a courtesy email saying, "Hey, we're just letting you know, give you a heads up, your license is getting ready to expire. That's all, just courtesy. Thanks a lot." And I was like, "Oh," and sure enough, it's due to expire on the 24th of this month. And I went through the rigmarole last night to get it renewed. So
you start from scratch.
So the password, the old password at the Browns was penicillin. Now it is.
No, that's the new password.
This is the new password, penicillin. They swap them back
Penicillin
and forth.
I am.
Penicillin I am. Okay, got it. So Scotty was informed by a radio club, which is pretty random. I wonder if they were doing that as a service. I think we should bring them on and talk about, I wonder if they had a crew of people who were looking for upcoming expirations or somebody, I wonder how that came up in the system that they, initiated a contact with Scotty just to let him know that his, stuff was about to expire. And thank goodness that they did. So pick it up from there, Scotty. What happens next? Did you talk to the people at all?
No. So here it is. I found the email. I posted it in kind of a back channel on the Discord. Greetings from the Southeast Texas Amateur Club. You are receiving this email because the FCC ULS database shows you have a call sign set to expire the first quarter of 2024. We have no association with the FCC and cannot provide any assistance in renewing your license. We just wanted to send this reminder as a courtesy. So the Southeast Texas Amateur Radio Club. And they also provided links in the email as to how to go about getting into the FCC website to get to the right places to get the renewal underway. So that was excellent of them. Thank you.
Wow.
Southeast Texas Amateur Radio Club, Harris County, Texas. Is
nice.
signed email. Very cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Links for FCC.gov. I don't know how. I guess I don't know how new this new system that I don't know how new it is. The FCC uses. They use something called the Universal License System (ULS). And then you have your when you get your license initially, you're issued an FCC registration number, an FRN number, and sort of your name is tied to that number. It's kind of like a VIN number for your license. But you have to create a user account on the FCC website in order to get in and do any of this stuff or to make a payment. And it was $35 for my renewal, as was the big fuss a year or two ago about the FCC charging for renewals. Once I got into the system, I was in there prior from last time when I initially got my license. I had to register my name to create an account on the FCC, this universal license system, and kind of set that all up. But once that's up and running, you just kind of go in and it'll show you which ones are up for renewal, and you click on renew, and kind of slam bam, thank you, ma'am, and $35, please. So it wasn't too bad at all.
Go ahead, Steve.
Nice. Yeah. No, I think the new system went into place in 2022. I think when the new cores, and I'm still on the old, and you got to register with the new one, and then there's the payment system, and it's all changed. As far as getting notices that your license is about to expire, if you're an ARRL member, you get a notice from the league. But this club in Texas, way to go! That is awesome.
That really is.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool of them to do that, because I was just, I was flaking out on it, and I was cruising right along. La la la. Oh, I'm about to lose my license. Not lose it, but
Hey, Scotty,
well,
was
the
it?
nice thing is,
Go ahead, Steve.
and the nice thing is you still have a 2-year grace period, but you cannot operate during that grace period. It just means you get to retain your call and everything. But once you expire, you're expired.
Oh man, I was thinking that if it expired, you had to go through all the testing again. So you're saying there is a grace period there?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oof. So a 2-year grace
good.
period that you don't have to go through retesting or anything like that, but you legally can't operate. So
that makes sense.
But so it's kind of you got a little cushion. So if you kind of stepped away from the hobby for a little bit and then let your license elapse, and then it's like, oh geez, I got to renew, then you're within that 2-year window, then you're good to go.
Scotty, was it automatic once you paid the payola? I mean, the ducats and the money to the FCC. Was it like you're back in, baby?
Just I haven't received an official email saying that's the case, but my experience with doing online stuff on the FCC site gives 24 to 48 hour period before I see any results back. It said I had no once I got back into my ULS username. It said I didn't have any outstanding fees for any of the licenses I have. I only have 2. I have my amateur call sign in, and I have a GMRS license as well. So apparently it stuck that I paid, and I'm up to date. I haven't received a confirmation email from the FCC about that with my renewed license card to pin up on the wall here.
Well, want to ask all the people who are here, and you're welcome to come every Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We do a live recording of an episode of 100 Watts in a Wire. Our friends from TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, everybody's welcome here with us. I'd like you to go and check your paperwork, because this one really snuck up on Scotty, and I'm thinking, oh man, he had like 7 days, Steve. It was like, what? And we were talking like, what, man, what? Scotty, are you a member of the league? Did you not get that?
I wanted to talk about this because here's the situation that happened to me. I've been a member of the league for quite a few years now. However, I did not renew my ARRL membership. I had my email that I had tied to my user account for the FCC. I was using my KC3BXN at ARRL.net as my email address. So, and I had that would forward to my main sort of junk Yahoo account. So I did not receive any notice from the FCC via that email account because I didn't have access to it because I didn't renew my membership with the league.
Gotcha.
So
And
I actually am now. I've actually this morning I rejoined.
how much did you have to pay? They're telling me I've got 10 days.
It was $65 if I don't get the magazine, $30 or $85 if I wanted to get the magazine. I opted to not get the magazine this time.
Wow! Can you get the digital?
You're going digital.
Yeah, I get the digital version, but the hard copy. They wanted extra money for the hard copy.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
You don't want any more of these?
That's the last one I got. Then no.
This might be the last one I get. I don't know.
I haven't seen
that
the
issue
latest
is
one yet.
in my bathroom as my bathroom reader.
Emergency toilet paper.
Exactly.
I don't
We
know,
don't have the
man.
Sears catalog anymore, so.
I have to say, I'm interested. There is in the small print over here, it talks about some Yaesu radios, which I'm flirting with the idea. I mean, I'm not in a position to buy anything, but I do think Yaesu makes me want to, do.
Don't get off. Don't get off axis. Oh no, you got to suck it. You got to be right here.
Yes, sir. I mean, damn, that's right. I'd be right there.
Bob and weave.
But I think, Yaesu has really stepped up its game. This is we're kind of all over the place, so welcome to it. But Yaesu is, they're doing really interesting stuff for portable and base station stuff, and I think they're doing some interesting things. Now, the FT8 of it, and it's no slight of it. I'm just not a digital guy at the moment. I don't slight it, but FT8 is kind of not my selling point on this particular month, but I'm like in this little yellow box, some of that stuff. Yaesu, yeah, I don't want to start a storm over FT8. I respect whatever you guys want to play around with. It's all good. And speaking of FT8, as we're all over the damn place, I am reintroducing our archive of show material to the YouTube channel. In short, I had taken it down. I probably should have left it up, whatever. But I'm bringing all this stuff back, and I'm going through... And, our rants about Bouvet Island. And we were here talking about the importance of FT8. Like FT8 kind of, remember that, guys? FT8 was sort of like save the day in a way because they didn't get to do what they wanted to do. So I'm not anti-FT8 and had just thought about it recently because of the archive discussion about a Bouvet. Any thoughts on any of this stuff, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Well, right now is the Clipperton Island de-expedition. They arrived on the island yesterday, and they are operating today. I got a chance to work them earlier this afternoon on 10 meters, and they are... Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me look at the scoreboard here.
Okay.
So I got to go over to here, and I can tell you what bands are operating currently. They're doing FT8 on 30 and 12 right now. They're doing FT8. So they're
Right now. Okay, cool.
They're right now. And they're only operating 10 meters voice at the moment. And, it looks like the band, they might be done. So, oh well. But got them worked earlier today, and they're sounding good.
Excellent.
So I want everybody who is listening to go and check their licenses. Okay, we're jumping around a little bit, and that's cool. This is what we do. Check your licenses, and if you're here and you can check it, put it down below or in the chat and let us know. I checked
Send
mine.
It by FT8.
Mine, yep, you have an FT8 mistress, says Sheena. I don't have a digital mistress at the moment. I played a little bit around with D-Star. She was so sexy. But I ran back to HF like a little bitch. But I looked up my license because Scotty scared me. I was like, wait, what, man? And we had this little thing. It happened. It was like me and him were going back and forth. We weren't arguing, but I was licensed in 2012, and mine expires in March of 25. And his was expiring before mine. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what's going on here? And I think our community helped us figure out that I changed my call sign from KD0. You remember me as that. We've been running long enough that you remember that. But then I ended up changing. I just dropped the D and became K0STH. And then it kind of restarted my time again. And we didn't know that. We didn't have you here as the cool uncle to tell us what we were doing. And me and him were like, no, I don't know what's going on. So about 10 minutes of that on the last podcast of us looking like, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. What should we do? Somebody came along and was like, dummies, here's what happened. So I didn't know that if you changed your call sign, it kind of regenerated the whole thing. So we got stuck in that. Mine is March 10th, 25. So I'm going to be paying good attention. Scotty says it was all digital online, and it seems like it was easy enough.
If you don't already have like a user thing set up with this universal lesson system and this cores system that Steve was talking about, you'll need to set that up. But that's pretty easy to do. You can create a username and you password. You tie it with your FRN number, and then then you're good to go.
Uh
So
oh.
it's pretty easy process.
Mark says his expired in November.
Uh-oh.
What's happening there, Mark? Are you
So
gonna?
he's in the grace period. So
Oh man. Okay.
I can say that I have
damn,
not.
Mark
talked
is
to
not
him.
going to check in.
I have not talked to him on the air during
All
his
right.
grace period time.
Yeah, let us know when your thing is going to expire, and make sure you keep up on that. And I guess it is a good service. I don't know if it's worth the money Scotty paid for the. I go through this every year. You guys know every year this time it's like the ARRL is ding dong. They're just calling me up, and they're like, "Hey," and now we're at like 10 days. Playa, we're gonna need that money. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I think it's a big bucket of worms. I don't know how much value I get out of this magazine. I'm somewhere in between. I think it's like, it's good. I think it's good to have it. I think it's like for tech folks who are big brain people like Steve, and now Scotty's all into the tech stuff, and he's reading the things, the words. You know, you can read the words.
You think I'm reading the words?
Oh, I thought so. I look
looking at the
for
pictures.
pictures. I like that too. But they've got the diagrams, and it's kind of lost on me, to be honest. I'm like, I get it. And then their other magazine is like for entry level people, and I'm not quite that either. So I'm just like, I don't know. But even the wake up call for when your license is expiring, as long as they don't send it to AR or whatever .net thing that so many people do, that'll be cool.
Made sure
Like,
to
that's actually
change
good.
that. Change that right away to this morning with the FCC, and I'm not going to use the ARRL's sort of a courtesy little email address for that sort of thing anymore.
All right, well, let's check on this week in radio history. Let's see what's going on. If you have a question of any nature, something that has to do with life or amateur radio, question about anything, put a Q in front of it, drop it down below. We'll try to pull those and get to those. We have some questions pulled up we'll get to tonight as well. January 20th, 1920. Steve and I were just lowercase g. Scotty still stayed on the sidewalk. He couldn't come even on the street when we were playing with our Nerf footballs. Check this name out. He lived across the street from us. Ernst Frederick Warner Anderson. We didn't know what the F to call this kid, but he was born in 1920, and you say, what's so big about him? Go ahead, Scotty.
Oh, there's a typo there. It's 1887. It's his year of birth. Just looking at the thing, I'm like, oh crap.
Okay, so everything I said was a lie, a complete lie. I didn't even get the date.
Only
right.
the date.
So, the date was wrong. January 20th, 1887, was it?
There you go.
All right, well, we knew him from around the way. He was a Swedish-American electrical engineer and inventor of the Alexanderson alternator. Okay. An early radio transmitter used between 1906 and the 1930s for long-wave, long-distance radio transmissions. I'm going to throw another date out here for Scotty to correct me on. January 25th, 1964. Did I get it? Is that right?
Nailed it.
Okay, cool. The USA launches its second communications satellite, Echo, not one. Anybody have any answers? Echo...
3?
No, not 1, not 3, but its second communications satellite.
Dos.
Yes, very good. Sidecar Steve wins the day. If you're looking for a power solution, check out BioNO Power, offering the best lithium phosphate batteries for your ham radios. Visit bionopower.com. That's BIOENNO power.com. And of course, if you find value in 100 Watts in a Wire and the content we provide, as goofy as it may be, you can join the community. You can support the community, the projects we try to launch for you, this show and everything else we do. Go to buymeacoffee.com/100watts. You can also go to 100wattsinawire.com and check out the benefits of becoming a member. You can get discounts from participating companies like Bioenno Power, Radio Waves, MFJ, and NI4L antennas. You could just buy us a cup of coffee or just listen for free. Heck, some of you rich folks that are watching us, you could also you could give a membership to somebody. How about that? That's a nice thing. I heard, guys, that MFJ is being shopped around. It did sell?
Oh,
Did you buy it?
Oh no, it's being sold. Sold.
Yes,
It's,
yes.
It's up for sale. So yep.
It is up for
I
sale.
don't know who. So yep, looks like Martin is finally retiring.
You know, I think he's 82, and that's not an ageist statement. But you know, who wants to be bothered with all that? You know what I mean? He has nothing to prove. But I wonder if all the properties, if anybody knows this, please let us know, listening or otherwise. Old boy has like High Gain, Meritron, like he's got a whole fistful.
Cushcraft.
Uh-oh. Steve-O's locked.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Steve is thinking super hard.
He's in
right
deep
now.
thought. Deep thought.
He is really thinking it through. I don't want to hurt him like that. I wish he wasn't.
Oh, Steve, don't think about it so hard. Come
Steve, let it go.
Snap
Let
out
it
of it.
go. Let it
Snap
go.
out
Do,
of it, man.
do like Elsa and let it go. Sing it, Steve. Let it go. I didn't hear a number as he thinks about it. We'll just talk about it here. If anybody heard the number, I can't imagine what that would be worth. I mean, it must be the factories, but I did hear he's shopping it around.
Yeah, that's
looking
actually
to get out.
news to me. I wonder who may end up picking it up. I wonder if who's the guy that owns DX Engineering and Summit Racing? I wonder if snatched that
Oh,
up
you're
under the
thinking
DX
about,
umbrella.
are you talking about, yeah, are you still frozen? Yeah, there you go.
Don't get off. Don't get off axes. Oh no, you got to suck it. You got to be right here.
Jesus Christ.
What is happening? Like, he is frozen again. Look at this. He's frozen. Oh, there you go. He's just gone.
There he was. There he's going.
He's gone.
And he's gone. Yeah, I wonder if the DX Engineering guy will snatch that up under his large umbrella.
Well, it's not Tim Duffy unless something really has changed. I know Tim runs the place, K3LR. He runs, the store side of things. But I think it's owned by that racing team. I don't know, man. I don't know who owns the world these days. But I know Tim was running DX Engineering, and they bought, from what I understood, what is it? It's CQ magazine. I think it was they bought the print magazine or something like that. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Thinking like a businessman. How the rates and all the things that advertising go in papers and magazines right now, because between the ARRL and if DX Engineering is in the mix between CQ magazine, it gets kind of wacky with vendors. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens there. But that's what's going on. But MFJ still going to be part of the member benefit. So if you're a member, it is January. It's a good time to re-up if you need to. It doesn't cost anything close to what some of these other things they're making us buy, for Pete's sakes. Summit Racing, that's right, James. Yep. Summit Racing owns DX Engineering. And they think Steve may be on the gummies. So I don't know about that. I mean, I don't have enough experience to know when somebody is on the gummies. Let me try to look a little closer at Scotty. Okay, well that look is familiar. I can't tell if he's on the gummies. So, but we'll see if Steve is set up. You want to tell the folks about the ham fests that are happening around the place? We can.
Yeah, we got a
move
few
into
here.
that.
Let's take a look here. Make sure I have to make sure I have the dates right on these.
I'll give you an introduction. And now, fresh off of updating his license, is Scotty, KC3BXN, in Maryland.
All right. A couple of ham fests happening this weekend. All week long, January 21st, which is that's today, through Saturday. It's the Quartz Fest, Ham Fest in Quartzsite, Arizona. all sorts of things going on there. Special event station as well. You can check out quartzfest.org to get some more info on that. It's a week-long thing. Somebody else was talking about heading to Quartz Fest at one time, I thought, in the Discord. What else is going on? January 27th, it's the 28th annual Albuquerque Amateur Radio Winter Tailgate in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Also on January 28th, it's the Long Island Mobile Amateur Radio Club's a virtual Hamfest. Levittown, New York, having a virtual Hamfest sponsored by the Long Island Mobile Amateur Radio Club. You can check that out at limarc.org to see what's happening with that. And there's a few more things happening. I've posted them on the events channel on our Discord server. Back to you, Christian.
Well, thank you very much, Scotty. My friend Scotty, we've been together. We grew up together. We was born in the same hospital. Brothers from another mother. You said it, boy. I don't even know who that is, but that is fun. All right, we'll take that out of here. And speaking of social media, you can follow us wherever you do your social media, whether that is the Tickety Talk, whether that is Facebook. Discord is an interesting little spot for us. It stays common on a night like this. It may be a little bit, but look at this old son of a bitch here. He finally came back. I want to show the text threads that are like, wire me $60 to my account and I'll come back on. You haven't paid up. What's going on? I'm like,
Steve was a little different than that.
What was it?
The internet here is kind of effed. Is what
It is kind of effed here.
Yes, it is. Internet is kind of effed here. It's actually written. I don't know if it will focus, but it. It goes. Okay. Internet is kind of. You wanted this, and someone asked if we had too many gummies and that we needed to stop doing that prior to the show. But I think it's whatever, man. It's just whatever. There are some questions coming in. We want you to ask questions. We want to answer some questions for you tonight. We've got a list that come, and I just collect them, and we give them to you. You will take priority here if you're in the chat and want to ask a question. Just put a Q in front of it, and Scotty will pull that as we go. Not like that. I tried really hard to remove the Tuggy option. We had a Snuggie. Someone created a Tuggy. Next thing you know, it's a real member benefit. And me and Scotty were stuck doing Tuggies for the whole month of December. And it's really embarrassing. So, who was it's like, Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
It is a problem. We have a lot of problems here.
Yep. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Thank you for coming and joining us. We appreciate you. Every Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. I guess we got an update from Steve talking about his Wi-Fi being F, so that was all that was. Shall we get to some questions? Do we have any that are coming into the chat that want to come through here? And maybe it will spark if you have a question or comment about the ARRL. We could take those as well. I'm always on the fence, and I know they're the ones who, quote unquote, protect the spectrum or what have you. I get it. And Steve's a lifetime member, I believe, and other people are, and they pay one rate, and they don't have to deal with this rotating up and down. I don't think they go backwards. I think it's probably just going to keep going up. So you were smart to get on that list of forever ever list where you paid.
As long as ARRL's around or I'm around, I'm there.
All right.
So this weekend, for those that don't know, there was the January board meeting. There's a little bit of brouhaha, as always, with the board of directors. And so there was a possible rewrite or approval of a, was it board 46 or whatever, something 46. I've been kind of somewhat paying attention to it, but that's been tabled. There's, if you want a quick synopsis of what happened. That's already posted on the league, and I'm good with the new contract. So I'm good, James. And so so as usual, there's always some drama that's going on with the league, and
What are you hearing? What are you reading? Go ahead and just lay it out there. It's a brand new year. I know you read the read the wires.
they wanted to redo the so if you're going to run for director or vice director, you're going to have to agree to these new guidelines, that code of ethics, essentially. And in the past, they really didn't. You have to agree to it, but you can't read it yet until you agree that you're going to abide by it. Well, now that's kind of changed. It's going to be posted on the ARRL website so everyone can see. There's a little bit of this language in the 46 bylaw 46. That's what it is, BL 46. That is going to, as people were interpreting that, it was going to stymie the our directors, your director, my director, of talking to us about what's going on with the league. There was going to be a little bit more of comes with the code of ethics and stuff. They were going to try to tighten down. But it doesn't matter what the league does. I mean, they're you're going to have a group of people that are going to be irritated with them. They're going to be a group of people that's going to agree with it. So they're in a no-win situation. They're between a rock and a hard place. And some of it they brought upon themselves. There's a feeling amongst a lot of people that the board's trying to be secretive, and I personally am not real big fan of that. There's some stuff that needs to be kind of kept confidential and things like that, but I believe in open transparency to the membership. If you're not a part of the membership, then hey, if you keep it from them, but it gets leaked out. But I kind of feel that needs to be done. My director and the Pacific director are now vice presidents. So my vice director is now going to become our new director, and we're going to be looking for another vice director here in the Northwest Division, and same thing with the Pacific Division. So there was a little bit of movement afoot, and so it's just read about it on the ARRL website, the quick synopsis, and in a month or so, the official minutes from the board meeting will be available. So it's pretty much going on. There's with the cost of, let's see, what else was there? I'm trying to remember what I read today. They're going to make associated membership for students that are under 21 free. So now they can become part of the the league and everything. So that's kind of helped. They're talking about reinstituting a lifetime membership for 70 and over. So how that's going to play out, I don't know. So that's kind of good. As Jim put it, the current CEO has made the league toxic, and so that's that's an issue. And there's been a lot going on, and if you want to know what the CEO is all about, get yourself, let me reach back here, one of these, or go on the ARRL website and read his columns there. What is it, Second Century or something like that. And yep, Second Century, and that's the writings of the CEO, and they have been quite interesting for the last couple of years. They've been kind of here, kind of there, and but he is who he is. And so, yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell. I've been kind of watching, if you really want to see the hornet's nest and hear a lot of people that are non-members complain about the league and stuff like that, just go over to QRZ, go into the forums, and under the ARRL governance forum, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So that's one area. And it's an easy place to find out what's going on and links to articles and people's thoughts on what's happening with the league.
Is Mr. Minster NA2AA, is he making it difficult to get new members? I wonder. What's your gut tell you on that, Steve?
I think he's trying to be controlling, and I think he's trying to get the board, kind of manipulating the board from what I'm seeing. I don't know a lot about the man personally. I do know, and this is just my observation and personal opinion, the man is thin-skinned. Mr. Minster, you need to get a little thick skin. Yes, social media and the internet can get really, really tough on you. And there's, but you know what? Step up, man up, have some integrity, and let your actions speak instead of your words.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. There was, I forget Jim, who has a YouTube channel. Someone sent me a video from Jim. He's like NW6. No, it's W6.
W6LG. LG, yeah, Jim in California.
He read a letter from somebody on the inside. He just made a video, and someone sent it to me, and I just read it. And it's a short one, and he goes down, and it talks about this toxic, thing. I'm with you, though. I think the age of transparency, it's, oh, Lord, I don't know. We won't get into all this. Because there's some parts of this woke mess that I just can't, and the cancel culture and all this. Some of it works for me and some of it doesn't. But to each their own now. But I think transparency in our nonprofits, the non-for-profits, should be, corporations, they're going to do what they do, and they're shady, and they're backhanded, and they'll stab you and cut you, and people see it, they don't know, and all this, I don't know, and it's secretive. It's a whole world of its own. But nonprofits, I think, should be, they do get some benefits in a tax way, and they do have bylaws and things. I don't know enough about it. I thought it was pretty damning, that thing that Jim read, and I've never met Jim, and he doesn't know who I am. I'm positive of this. But what I was reading, if that's a real letter coming from the inside, that's something right there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's and we don't need that kind of leadership. And it's, if that's his style, then that's his style. But really, I mean, the league operates as an employer, and that's what he does. He's, in charge of the employees and everything like that. But you just, you're going to lose good talent. The league has lost good talent in the league, and so that affects all of us as members. That it's going to have an impact on the benefits that we pay into. The other thing that I thought was kind of underhanded and a lack of integrity on the league's part was not honoring the printed copies of QST to members. That so Scotty re-upped for 3 years, for example, and then 3 months into his 3-year membership run, they said, "Oh, we're dropping QST printed edition. You can get it digital, and but if you want the printed copy, then you're going to have to pay another $25 a year on top of it, and just to have the privilege of having a paper copy." And so it's it's unethical. I mean, yeah, legally they can do that and all that other stuff, but you know what? It's unethical. It talks about the integrity of the league, and just honor it. It's 3 years. Yes, it costs a lot of money. Yes, it's all this other stuff. It's so just live up to your word and your end of the bargain. It's kind of a contract. It's not a legal binding, but it's still, the member paid expecting these services, which you said you will at the time of when they made their payment, and then you changed it in the middle of it. And it's you have the legal footing to do it, but it's not right, and ethically, it's not right.
So, and there was a
That's
comment.
that's part of the reason why I
Go ahead,
didn't, when I re-upped this time, I opted not to give them the extra money for the magazine after the crap that they pulled, where they're pulling the, like you were saying, pulling the magazines, and then putting an upcharge on it, so to speak, shortly after you've signed up, and that was part of the reason why I didn't even bother to pay extra to get the hard copy of the magazines. Was I was like, nah, that's it's not cool, man. And
James says he's Kilo India 5, Oscar Echo Bravo. On the down low is okay, but complaining and not paying dues is a blank. So, I'll say this. I've been a member ever since I was licensed in 2012. Every year I reluctantly pay. It has nothing to do specifically this time around, maybe with the CEO. In the past, there's been other things, and sometimes there's been money involved where I'm like, man, I don't know, I need that money. And this year coming off of what I've been through, yeah, I'm thinking about, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to see where we are. But, I end up reluctantly and I end up doing it. However, I would say that if you've paid for, all these years that I've been licensed and I decide not to re-up for whatever reason, I still do feel I have a voice, and there's a reason why, you know what I mean? So I think you can still talk about it. If you never, ever became a member, then maybe, so it's like the people who say, oh, more calling Orson. Come in, Orson. It's like saying, don't talk about politics if you don't vote, right? But I think if you were a member a while and you get out for a little bit, or maybe you decide to come back in, you still should be able to have that opinion. So I hear what you're saying, James. Maybe if you're not ever getting in it, okay, then don't talk about it. But if you have been and you got out, and you have an opinion on it, okay. So I don't know, Steve, does that make any sense? Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, let's answer some questions. If anybody has a question here while we're here, put a Q in front of it. We will try to pull that. I know there's a couple things going on. People are voting James one sidecar for ARRL CEO.
nice.
I would tell you, I don't think you have enough money to pay for him. But yeah, I would vote for him. But the halls of the ARRL would look a lot different. I can tell you that. You'd see these three up there like this. Mm-hmm. You better listen. There'll be some enforcement for real going down. And that's a paid position. That's a highly paid position.
I think he's making about $305,000 total compensation.
For that much money, you could get the three of us. The three of us will come do it for that. Damn.
I saw a number being floated around. I don't know if it was his there. I think it might be for 305 or somewhere around there. And he's highly paid and for a nonprofit. So yeah.
All right. Todd did his he paid before the change for 3 years in December. It's nothing but love here. We're all good. We're all on the same team, and that's where we are with that. If you have a question, you know what to do. We've got some that have come in, and let's pass it around here. We'll see where we go. And the traditional mode is I'll read the question. Sidecar Steve will chime in. We'll all give a little bit of thought to it, and you're welcome to add your commentary as well. Here we go, friends. Thoughts on buying gear on eBay. Thoughts on buying gear on eBay. Sidecar Steve, W7UDI.
I've bought some gear on eBay, and it's kind of it's like going to a ham fest or swap meet, and the only difference is you don't get to touch and feel and smell and the equipment before laying out the cashola.
Don't get off axes. Oh no, you gotta suck it. You gotta be right here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new league. Sorry, y'all.
Cheers.
little side magazine, the Browns Quarterly.
Yeah, if I was in charge of the league, we would have a beer bar, and yep.
buying gear on eBay. One thing I would recommend, this not specifically for amateur radio gear, although I have bought some, but also audio gear, is to do it, through your eBay sort of user account, and also through PayPal. In case there's some shenanigans, you get a little bit of protection there. Should something go south, or you get sold a piece of crap, or somebody trying to pull one over on you, there's a little bit of help there through eBay and PayPal if you're like signed up and registered user, so to speak.
And look at the reviews of the seller, and a lot of reputable eBay sellers have a great rating. They're in the 90+% rate, and there's some people will have some issues here and there, but overall it's if they ship fairly quickly, and things are packaged appropriately. So I mean, there's a few things. My son-in-law, he has a full-time eBay business.
Wow.
And he goes around and more or less gets stuff from garage sales and Goodwill and this and that, and he resells them on eBay and makes quite a good living on it, and he does that full time, and so it's kind of a lucrative business for sellers, and so for them, he has a reputation he has to maintain, so that's where you want to get locked into a good seller, and it's but like everything else in life, you kind of you hope for the best and kind of prepare for the worst. So far, all my purchases have been good.
We got some news in. Scotty, do you want to read about the ARRL, this brand new news breaking?
Oh, go ahead and break it.
100 watts and a wire news.
James reports that he looked up the salary of the ARRL CEO and found it is $784,991 per year. $784,991,000. Back to you. Let's go to the Browns for the Wi-Fi password. All right, great. That's great. We'll get on that and get all the information we need. That's a lot of iron, guys. Any thoughts on that?
Is that legit info? That's a lot of money.
James, I'm not 100% sure, because what I saw was from the IRS filings and what was listed. But I mean, I'm not. I mean, if he gets $785,000 a year, then it's like, good on him. You did a pretty good job negotiating. Bad on us as members. We're getting screwed.
I would like to throw my hat.
$65 towards that.
My hat is going into the ring when it's time for him to go. We're bringing the 100 watts and a wire army to, how does that happen? Is that a vote? Who hires? The board has to hire?
The board.
Good grief. Can you imagine?
Yeah, they renew his contract every year, I think, in January.
Good Lord Almighty. Let's go on with another question, because that is something.
Wow.
And we will, if we can find that information from a legitimate source, we will put that in our Discord, and we can talk about that. And there we'll follow up on this conversation. Mm-hmm. Now we'll do another question from a member of our community. Are you allowed to listen to military frequencies?
Yes. You can listen to whatever frequency you want. Now, technically, you can't rebroadcast any of that, or tell other people what you've heard and things like that, I think, but you got to get caught first. But but you can listen to anything in the radio spectrum to your heart's content.
Survey says. Good answer, Sidecar Steve. All right, we got another one here. If you have a question, put a Q in front of it, and we will pull it out right away. Yep. We all do that. Here we go. Another question. The first 3 tools for new ham radio operators. Your first 3 tools. Scotty, will come to you second. First, Sidecar, what do you think?
I think a good DVM meter. volt ohm meter is a good tool. If you can afford it, a VSWR meter like a one of these. Oh shoot, probably a good antenna analyzer, like a just to check your antennas, and another tool, and believe it or not, a dummy load, and is
Excellent.
probably a good start for basic tools other than hand tools and things like that. But if you want to get into building, then there's soldering irons and learning to solder and so forth and so on. But I think right off the bat, digital voltmeter, a good antenna analyzer, and a dummy load, you can do a lot with that.
Get a lot of
Scotty,
and
any
even
changes?
I love everything that he said there. With the antenna analyzer, that can be a pretty big purchase up front. So you can get away with one of these little nano VNAs for a while, and get a lot of work done with these. And then get one of the big boy antenna analyzers once you kind of been doing it for a while and want to kind of explore building the antennas and stuff. But I use this thing all the time. It's rechargeable and it's got a pretty wide frequency response. Might not be the most accurate meter in the world, but it gets lets me know if I'm loading up a dummy load or not. That's all I really needed to do.
This just in.
100 watts and a wire news.
Mark says that, he says the 990 form from 2022, the salary was $258,000. That's a little bit closer to what Steve was mentioning earlier, but still quite a bit of iron. Thank you for that. We just want to go on factual, good sources there. And a 990 form is government and transparent.
That's what they're reporting to the IRS.
Oh, it's a good one there. All right, we have time for another question. Anyone want to throw that in there? We will be wrapping up here in just a little bit. But first, and thank you for the tool comments. Those are great answers. Let's see. What's the proper way to ship a used radio? May I go first on this one, you guys? And you back me up and tell me how you like it. Because when I got my Drake TR7 from a wonderful man, I believe his name was John. I can't remember the call sign. He lived in Ohio. He knew the Drake family. Mr. Drake had done wonderful things in the neighborhood. And this man double-boxed everything. He double-boxed everything. And his station, he said, was 90-some% Drake. And his wife got sick. And so he started to move some of his pieces, and I was the recipient. Luckily, I purchased it from him. But the original box it came in, that's a different side discussion. It's all its own packing, but he packed it within another box. And I always felt that double boxing was the certain way to do it. Steve, your thoughts?
Yes. I mean, if you have the original box that the radio came in, if you so happen to saved it or bought the radio new, that right off the bat is because the manufacturer set it up to be protected, and most radios are double boxed, but protect everything. If you don't have the original packaging, I mean, it's pretty common sense on figure that this package is going to be handled by a gorilla, and they're going to throw it around just like the baggage handlers down at the airport as they're throwing suitcases. It's the same thing with UPS and FedEx and the U.S. Postal Service. These boxes are getting airborne, and so think about that accordingly, and then go from there. So lots of padding, protect the corners, and if you have the original packaging, all the better.
Scotty, anything you'd like to add to that comment?
I mean, original boxes, absolutely. But in lieu of that, if you got to box it up, double box it. If you have it's an older rig, if you can remove the VFO dial and any sort of big protrusions off the front of the radio, those seem to be the ones that get banged up. I'm a member of a FT101 kind of group. on Facebook, and there's a guy in Florida, Paul Harrod, who rebuilds these things, and he's always going on and on. He always harps on proper packing of these, because these radios weigh a ton when they're going to ship them down, and he always take the VFO off, take all the knobs off, take as much stuff off of it as you can, so it's as square as possible to, and even sometimes even remove the tubes if it's an older tube rig, just to kind of help all that stuff survive shipping.
Very good. We've got a final comment here, a little bit of research from our research team. Mark says, Steve is correct. Total compensation was $305,000. This has been posted in our Discord group. So look for us. If you do Discord, that's an interesting way of having a bit of glue during the week. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and we are on Discord. Multiple sections in Discord that you can go into. People like photography. We share thoughts on cooking. It expands a little bit on our Discord server. Sidecar Steve will not do Facebook. Some people do not do YouTube and Google. So we try to be everywhere that you want to be. I think that's a credit card company slogan, but be that as it may, it looks like that fella there, November Alpha 2 Alpha, Mr. Minster, is well compensated. And
clearly,
I think you just have to have thick skin. I'm sorry. If you're making over 300 large, you're going to have to take it, man. You're going to have to take some comments. You're going to have to listen to the people. That's all I can say about that. Anything further to add to this evening's discussion? Because we sure appreciate you guys. Was there any questions that came up during that time, Scotty, that we have to get to? I know people were doing the research team stuff.
There's a couple questions from the chat, most of them referring to Steve's contract negotiations. However, James had one about manual or auto antenna tuner. So the question: manual or auto antenna tuner?
I like them both. It depends on the situation. With a manual tuner, you could kind of pre-tune it before even applying any transmit power to it. And the way to do that is just find a quiet frequency and listen to the background noise, and then you just tune the knobs until you get the highest volume in background noise, and you're going to be pretty darn close to touch it up. And it keeps your on the air tuning down to a minimum. The other thing, and I'll talk about tuning, and we run into this all the time, even on the nets, is don't tune on the same frequency that you want.
I'm sorry, was I stepping on your
go.
key?
See, that's what happens. And it's just tune off about 5-10 kilohertz away from wherever you want to operate. Find a little quiet. So go both ways. Wow, man. Nice.
Dynamite!
Yes. Very good.
And,
thank you, Jimmy.
Yep, I go both ways, automatic and manual. Your mileage may vary.
That's Jimmy Hi. Thank you, Jimmy Hi, for coming by today. We appreciate the comments. He doesn't say much, but when he gets riled up, you'll hear it.
Dynamite!
Sure is. Jimmy Hi, everybody. As we
oh my gosh. So yeah, just tune up off frequency a little bit. Just be courteous, and you have to throw a little power out there to tune up your automatic tuners or your manuals, whichever way you go, AC or DC, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever tuner you use, do it off frequency, please.
Yep, whatever pronoun he wants to use, man, he, her, or them, they, whatever. And so it's so be kind to your fellow amateur operators, and find a place that's close by and tune up.
And for the ladies, you could use a little ice when you're doing the thingies. Is that what you're talking about? Damn it, I don't know. I'm a manual guy. I don't know. Is this doing anything? Does this help? Is that annoying? Ting. Well, shoot, we've done it again. Episode number 426. 426 is in the books. We appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back next weekend for sure. And probably bring you a little bit of live. We'll see what's going on next Sunday, but we tend to be here 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's time for the net. So those who are here, move yourself over to 40 meters. We'll find a frequency there. It'll be posted on Discord. We also use our net logger, so you can always find us, even if you're like old Mark, who cannot key up now because he's in transition with his... You got to upgrade that license.
Period.
Let's hear about the grace period one last time. Okay, I think they'll give you. Yep, just take that money over there and work it out. Any final thoughts, Steve?
Wow, great to have everyone here. And just one other thing from last week on our live show. If you want to kind of get an idea how to use your RF gain, just revisit the last week's live show, and I demonstrated how to use the RF gain on your HF radio to kind of make the person you're listening to sound almost FM-like. So check out last week's live show and a little demo of using your RF gain on your radio.
Good luck the rest of the way, guys. Scotty, anything you want to leave us with?
7-3. Don't let your license expire. Don't end up like Mark.
No. No.
All right, friends.
Like
good luck.
me, go both ways.
Go both ways. We'll talk more about that in the after show. My God, this is all
Jesus Christ.
very new information. We'll give you a detailed story next week. Good luck the rest of the way, guys. And by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise. 7-3, guys.
7-3, everyone.
To join the 100 Watts in a Wire community, visit 100wattsinawire.com.